Good evening. My name is Samantha, and we will be practicing a gentle beginner's flow. Thank you so much for being with me during this time. And remember that you are your first teacher throughout this practice, and I am simply your guide. We'll start out in an easy seat, Sukhasana. Often that is a cross-legged position as I am holding. However, your legs can be out in front of you, out wide, maybe even underneath your seat. Whatever feels most comfortable to you this evening. We begin to build our easy seat, feeling our sit bones rooted into the earth below us. We feel our pelvis tucked, the core slightly engaged. Our shoulders are relaxed down the back, falling away from the ears. Our palms are up for receiving energy or down for grounding. The crown of the head reaches tall towards the sky, and we begin to close our eyes. If closing your eyes is too much this evening, we can simply take a downcast gaze, softening the eyes into the eye sockets, letting the brows fall away from the forehead. The jaw is loose. Maybe we wiggle the jaw from side to side. And we begin to tune into our practice, arriving at our mat, leaving behind anything that will not serve us for the next hour. Letting go of the day we've already had, the week, the month, the year. Tuning into the gift of the present. Begin to notice our breathing, not changing it quite yet, just noticing as it comes through the nose or the mouth, gives energy to every living cell in our body, and then releases out. Noticing if it comes into the chest, or maybe as deep as the belly. Throughout this practice, I'll be reading poetry from Donna Folds from Kripalu Yoga. You are welcome to listen or not listen. Breath, the mindful breath, the rhythm, out and in. The wave that washes through our days, creating space for stillness, sorrow, joy, or exaltation. Full, then empty, ebb and flow. Breath accompanies each step into the unknown. In the breath, the soul finds an opportunity to speak. Images or intuition, poetry or wordless wisdom, come and go. No effort, but to breathe and listen. Slowly blinking open the windows of the eyes. We'll take our hands out to our side and sweeping them out and up to the heavens and back down to heart center and gratitude. Bowing the head, taking a moment to acknowledge your sankalpa or your intention for your practice. Thinking about what brought you here to your mat. Whatever it is perfect. And as you go through your practice, anytime your mind wanders off your mat, simply come back to that intention and the breath. Blinking open the eyes again. If we did start in a cross-legged position, let's switch out the cross of the legs, so taking the opposite leg in front. We'll sweep the arms out and up, and we'll twist over to our right side. Left hand coming onto the right knee. Taking this gently for now, our first twist of the evening. The shoulders remain away from the ears. The core is engaged to protect the lower back. And as we inhale, we become taller. And as we exhale, we twist deeper towards the right. Next inhale, the arms raise up, and we exhale, twisting to the other side. Heart lifts on the inhales and turns on the exhales. Next inhale, reaching the arms up back to center, and exhaling, letting them fall to either side of the hip with tented fingers. On an inhale, the crown of the head reaches tall, and on your exhale, let the right ear fall to the right shoulder. Keeping that tall spine, shoulders falling away from ears. Maybe we tiptoe the left fingertips out away from the hip to deepen the stretch on the side of the neck. On our next inhale, coming back to center, and exhale, neck releases to the other side. Maybe tiptoeing those right fingertips away from the body. And on our next inhale, bringing the head back to center. We'll release the chin to the sternum and begin to take half moons, painting little moons on the chest, taking the chin to the right and chin to the left. Breathing in as you get to each side and out in the center. If it feels safe for your neck, maybe beginning to take full head circles. Reaching the chin up to the sky. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, release. If you took those full circles, be sure to take them on the other side. And all meeting with the chin falling towards the sternum. We'll clasp our hands behind the head and just feel the head gently falling towards the earth, not pulling on it, just letting gravity do the work. And then lifting the head back up, releasing the arms down. We'll sweep the arms out and up on an inhale, and exhale, folding over the legs. Leading with your heart first, and then the head. Hips remain rooted into the earth. Thinking more about the heart reaching forward rather than your hands simply coming far away from you. back to the body. We'll again switch out the cross of the legs if that's your position. On an inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, and exhale, folding over with opposite legs. If your legs are out, simply take the same shape with the upper body, always keeping the hips rooted and letting the heart lead. On your next inhale, slowly walking the hands back into the body. We'll take our arms into a cactus-like position. We'll take some seated cat-cow-like movements here. So as we inhale, we reach the heart forward, the booty reaches towards the back, elbows come behind you, and as we exhale, we bring everything into center. Gaze comes to the belly button, elbows together, rounding the spine. Inhaling, heart reaches forward, gaze forward. And exhaling, rounding the spine, gaze to the belly. Inhaling, tail reaches back, heart reaches out, shoulders back and away from the body. And exhaling, bringing everything together, rounding the spine. Continuing to take this movement at your own pace. Speeding it up for heat, or slowing it down to really feel into every muscle that it takes to create this movement. Checking in again on the jaw, making sure it's loose. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. We'll take 2 more of those. Releasing the arms down, we'll take them onto the knees and take some Sufi grinds with the upper body. So inhaling, reaching the heart over that right knee, coming around, and exhaling, gaze to the belly, rounding the spine. Inhaling, heart forward. Exhaling, gaze to the belly. Inhaling, hips remain rooted. Exhaling, rounding the spine. One more in this direction. And then continuing to the other side. Inhaling over the left knee. Exhaling, gaze to the belly. Checking in on the shoulders. Are they away from the ears? Relax down the back. And one more round in this direction. Meeting back in center. Coming back into that easy seat with that tall, proud spine. We'll again clasp the hands behind the head. Feeling even pressure between the back of the head and the hands. And we'll simply start to reach the elbows behind us. Feeling the stretch in the shoulders and the forearms. Again, taking this as gently as you would like. Maybe the elbows don't reach back at all. But testing your edge. On an inhale, we'll reach those palms up to the sky. In order to keep the shoulders falling down the back, you might need to have the elbows bent a good amount. The palms reach straight up, the pinkies reach towards the back of the room. And on an inhale, we reach tall in the center. And exhale, we release over to the right side. Feeling the stretch in the left side of the body. Maybe our gaze comes up. Maybe the heart reaches high. On our inhales, we become taller in the shape. And exhale, the body falls deeper to the right. Hips always rooted. On an inhale, coming back to center, and exhale, falling to the other side. Inhaling, hands up, and exhale, let them slowly release to either side of the body. We'll take our legs out in front of us, giving them a little shake if they've been stuck in Sukhasana for a while. Maybe removing the flesh from underneath the sit bones. We'll begin our Dandasana pose, staff pose. So the knees might have to be bent for our sit bones to remain into the ground and our spine to remain tall and straight. The palms are down on either side of the hips. The core is slightly engaged. The shoulders fall away from the ears. And the toes are flexed towards the face, heels reaching towards the front of the mat. Maybe closing the eyes here, feeling the strength that it takes to hold our Dandasana. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms out and up. And exhale, we'll fold over the legs. And just like we did in Sukhasana, we lead with the heart and follow with the mind. Maybe the hands only reach towards the thighs or the shins. There's no goal here except for to feel a slight stretch in the hamstring and to keep the belly button in and up, engaging our Uddiyana Bandha to get the belly out of the way of the stretch. Shepherding your attention back to the breath, if it's left. And on your next inhale, tiptoeing the hands up the legs, letting your hands fall behind your hips, toes facing forward. We'll bend the knees and we'll take some windshield wiper movements to either side. So inhaling, knees up, and exhale, let them fall to the side. Inhaling up and exhale to the side. Maybe looking over the opposite shoulder as the legs fall. Taking this as slowly or as quickly as you would like. And meeting with the legs bent back in center. We'll let the legs come behind us. And coming into our child's pose. Taking our traditional child's pose with legs together, arms at the sides, and head on the mat. Or an extended child's pose, toes together, knees apart, and the body falls between, arms extended out in front of you. Knowing that our child's pose is always here for us throughout our practice. If at any time you need a rest or simply a moment to come back to the present, our child's pose is there for you. Do yoga with no goal but to be in the moment. This breath, this stretch, this wave of emotion rolling in. Watch it crest and break, then dissipate. Next inhale, we'll come into our tabletop position on all fours. Our shoulders are right over our wrists, our hips right over the knees. We've got straight lines coming back from the knees, so our legs or our lower legs are perpendicular. Maybe checking if the hips are right above the knees. the legs are about hips distance apart, so not together and not too wide. On an inhale, we'll reach the right leg back behind us, tucking the right toes. Just beginning to feel the stretch in the leg. Maybe we move the body forwards and backwards. Stretching out the foot as well here. And then meeting in stillness, we'll reach the left hand out in front of us, just tiptoeing it forward as far as it will go. Feeling that long line of energy from the back heel all the way to the tips of the fingers. And maybe we're able to lift that right leg up off the earth, lining up the heel with the hip. Staying here, or maybe we're able to lift the left arm up, lining up the fingers with the shoulder. Staying with the breath here. The toes flex towards the face to help with the balance. And then exhaling, releasing everything down, back to all fours. We'll take one cow-cat here to reset the spine. Inhaling, heart reaching forward, tail lifts, gaze rises. Exhaling, gaze to the belly, rounding the spine. And inhaling, coming back to our tabletop position. We'll take the left leg to the back of the mat, toes tucked, and beginning to feel into the leg and the foot, bringing the body forwards and backwards ever so gently. Back in stillness, tiptoeing the right fingers out in front of you as far as they will go. And again, staying here or lifting that left foot in line with the left hip. Toes reach towards the base. Shoulders remain falling down the back. And maybe the right fingers come in line with the right shoulder. On our inhales, we feel that line of energy from the heel to the fingertips becoming even longer. And exhaling, bringing the core to the belly. On our next exhale, we'll release everything back down to our tabletop position. Toes together, knees apart. Coming into extended child's pose or our traditional child's pose, legs together. Feeling the breath against the legs as it enters through the chest, the rib cage widens and the belly fills. And as we exhale, we feel the belly empty, the rib cage contract, and the chest fall. Our tabletop position, reaching the hands, maybe just one hand's distance in front, tucking the toes, and lifting the hips up to the sky for downward dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Feet are hips distance apart. Hands are shoulders distance apart. Knuckles are all pressing into the earth. Thinking more about a straight line from the crown of the head to the bottom of the hips, rather than straightening out your legs and just trying to reach your heels to the earth. Your knees can be as bent as you need to get that proper alignment. Really feeling the tail reaching up, the belly button hugging in, and maybe taking some movements that feel good to you here. Maybe bicycling out the feet, lifting one heel up and pressing the other down. And then switching it out, other heel up, opposite heel towards the earth. Elbow creases are reaching towards the front of your mat. Meeting back in center, heels reaching towards the earth. And on our next inhale, we'll walk as slowly as possible, taking the feet to the hands, one foot in front of the other, enjoying the stretch in the hamstrings. When you reach almost to the top of the mat, we'll take our forward fold, letting the crown of the head fall to the ground. Again, here the knees can be as bent as needed. Maybe we take opposite hands to opposite shoulders and sway from side to side. Releasing that down, letting the limbs simply release, letting gravity do the work here on the upper body. And on our next inhale, we'll bend the knees just slightly, bring the arms out to the side like wings. Inhaling for a reverse swan dive, keeping a flat back, and taking our wings all the way up, and back down, hands to heart center. We'll build our mountain pose here, our Tadasana. So I'll turn just a bit. So we've got our palms facing towards the front of our mat. Our feet are parallel like two train tracks. Our knees are slightly bent. The pelvis is tucked. The belly button goes in and up the spine. The shoulders fall away from the ears. The jaw remains relaxed, tongue falling away from the roof of the mouth. The brows release. And the crown lifts proudly to the sky. Maybe we wobble forward and back and right and left, feeling our balance in this pose. Checking that the feet are right in line with the hip bones. And then meeting back in stillness, we'll take some half sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. On an inhale, we bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. And exhale, we swan dive, taking a flat back, all the way back to forward fold. We'll inhale, taking a halfway lift, flat back, creating that L shape. Hands on the shins or the thighs. And exhale, coming back to forward fold. Bending the knees, wings come out, reverse swan dive. And exhaling, hands to heart center. We'll take that 2 more times. Inhaling, arms out and up. Maybe a slight back bend, and exhaling, diving off our mountain. Inhaling, taking a halfway lift. Exhaling, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling, wings come up. Exhale, we dive. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders down the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, knees bent, heart reaches up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment here to come back to the breath, back to your intention. On our next inhale, we'll sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhaling, take a halfway lift. And exhale, hands come onto the mat, bending the knees. We'll take the right leg to the back of the mat. Toes are tucked, knee is over ankle, and we'll release that right heel. Building this low lunge, we feel our shoulders falling down the back, heart reaching forward. And we stay here, or maybe we lift, placing the hands onto the left thigh. Again, checking that that knee is right over the ankle. It's not in front or in back, but perfectly stacked. Feeling ever so slightly the action of your left hip pulling backwards and your right hip reaching forward. Maybe the hands stay at the knee, Or maybe we're ready to lift the arms up overhead, keeping those shoulders relaxed, heart reaching out and up. On our inhales, we come taller, energy out of the fingertips, and exhale, we fall deeper into our lunge. On our next exhale, the hands will come to frame the front foot. We'll tuck the right toes, and the left foot will meet the right at the back of the mat, coming back into downward dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Knuckles press into the earth, fingers pressed wide. Elbow creases towards the front of the room. Tail reaching towards the sky. Knees as bent as needed. Maybe we take a moment to shake our head no here. And then shake our head yes. Releasing the neck. And on our next inhale, we'll take the right foot up in between the hands, coming into low lunge on the other side. Left toes are tucked. Right knee is right on top of the right ankle. And we let the left knee release. And we release the left toes. We lift our shoulders proudly. The heart reaching forward. And staying here. Or maybe the hands come up to the thigh. Checking that knee to ankle alignment. Staying with the breath. Engaging the core to protect the lower back. And then as we are ready, maybe we lift the arms up to the sky. Palms facing inward. Right hip back. And left hip forward. On our next exhale, hands will come to frame the front foot. We'll tuck the left toes, and the left foot meets the right at the front of the mat, coming into forward fold, Uttanasana. Feet parallel, right below the hips. And maybe we can straighten the knees just a little bit more this time, but not to any point that may be painful. On our next inhale, we'll take a halfway lift, L shape. Exhale, releasing down. Bending the knees, reverse swan dive, rising all the way up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Setting up next for Virabhujasana 1, Warrior 1. We'll take the right foot towards the back of the mat a few feet. Hi, Peaches. And we've got the right foot on a 45-degree angle. The left toes facing straight towards the front of the mat. Our feet are on separate train tracks. So there's hips distance apart from them on the mat. Keeping our hands on our hips, We'll simply bend into that left leg. Taking that same shape as we did in the lunge, making sure that our left knee is right over our left ankle. Feeling the same action of the right hip reaching forward and the left hip reaching back. Shoulders falling away from ears. Heart proud. And maybe we sweep the arms up, coming into our full warrior. Exhaling the arms down, straightening the front foot, hands come to hips, and we'll take a little pivot. So turning the body towards your right side. And now our right foot is in front, left foot is in back at a 45-degree angle. You might need to adjust that left foot towards your left in order to keep the feet on those separate train tracks. Feeling that left hip pulling forward, right hip pulling back, and then bending into that front leg. Virabhadrasana 1 on our other side. Knee right over ankle. And as we are ready, maybe we'll reach the arms up. Heart proud. Checking in on the jaw if we've gained any tension. Checking in on the shoulders. Straightening that front leg, taking the hands back to the hips, pivoting this time towards your left. Left foot faces towards the front of the mat, and we'll simply take the right foot and meet the left for our Tadasana pose, mountain pose, standing at the front of the mat. Taking a moment here, maybe to close the eyes, to tune into any sensations happening in the body. And then blinking them open, we'll take our right foot again towards the back of the mat. But this time, instead of our upper body facing towards the front of the mat, we allow it to turn towards our right. The right foot is on a 45-degree angle, and this time in Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, the left foot is in line with the arch of the right ankle. So taking a look at that front heel and the arch of the back foot. Reaching our arms out to either side, first palms up, letting the shoulders fall away from the ear. Then keeping the rest of the arms in the same position, we'll simply flip the hands over. Gaze will come to our front middle finger, and we'll bend into that front leg. Warrior 2. Knee right above ankle. Core and pelvis lift up to keep that straight spine. And we breathe. out that front leg, hands to hips, and then taking a pivot, moving towards your right. Now the right foot is in front, the left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Right heel is in line with the arch of the left foot. Our body remains facing outwards on the mat. We reach the arms out with palms facing up, shoulders away from ears. We flip the palms over, gaze comes over that front middle finger, and we bend into the right leg. Feeling even weight in both legs, almost feeling like your feet are pushing your mat away from itself. The nice edge of the left foot is pressing down. And we breathe. Straightening out that front leg, taking the hands to the hips, pivoting one last time, and taking the right foot to meet the left at the front of the mat. Palms face the front of the mat, coming into our mountain pose one more time. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, swan diving down. We'll inhale, taking a halfway lift. Exhale, diving down. Bending the knees, reverse swan diving up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. We'll take a little balance to get onto our bums. So we'll bring our feet close together, toes and heels touching, but keeping that same mountain pose alignment in the upper body. Hands will come to heart center, allowing the thumb knuckles to rest gently on the sternum. Engaging the core, we'll lift our heels up off the earth. And then we'll slowly bring our bum to our heels, bending the knees, heels staying off the earth. If we fall out, we simply sit. Taking a moment here, feeling the stretch in the feet. And then resting, taking one hand in front, one hand in back, coming into our easy seat. We'll take Baddha Konasana here, our bound angle or butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet come together, and we can keep the legs close into the body or let them come out in a diamond shape. In the diamond shape, we will have more stretch in the hamstring area, and closer to us, we'll feel the stretch more in our hips. Whichever we choose is absolutely perfect. Holding on to our feet or letting the hands come out in front of you, we'll inhale, shoulders down the back, heart up. And we'll exhale, letting the heart lead the body down over the legs. And then finally, the mind falls down. Leading with the heart and following with the mind. A wonderful metaphor for all of our yoga practice, as well as our lives. body like a mother in a close embrace, listening with intimacy, touching with tenderness. Yoga is a threshold into mystery, each pose an open doorway and an invitation to unfold. Slowly tiptoe the fingers and upper body back up. And then we'll release the legs out in front of us. Palms come behind us, fingers facing the body. And we'll let our legs take some windshield wipers left and right. Legs fall to the right, maybe we look to the left. And they fall to the left, maybe looking to the right. Inhaling when we come to center, and exhaling to the side. Meeting back in center, we'll take our legs out in front of us as we did before in our staff or Dandasana pose. Toes flexed towards the face, core engaged, sweeping the arms up and out, then taking them out in front of us, inhaling forward, and then exhale, let the upper body fall to the earth as slow as possible, engaging the core. And when we reach the bottom, taking the arms up overhead, pointing the toes, taking a morning type stretch, becoming your longest self. And then releasing everything down, arms at the sides. We'll bend our left leg and bring the right ankle right in front of the left knee for a figure 4 shape. The right foot is flexed. And we can stay here if we feel the stretch. Maybe we take the right hand to the inside of the right knee and gently push it towards the front of the mat. And maybe if it's available, we lift that left leg off the earth, creating an L shape with the leg, left toes flexed, hips remaining down, and maybe we clasp the hands behind the left thigh. If we can't achieve this with the sacrum and the hips on the earth, then simply come back down into the previous step. Releasing the shape down, right foot comes off of left thigh, and we'll take this on the other side. Left ankle in front of the right knee, staying here, or taking the left hand to the inside of the left leg, pushing it towards the front of the mat. Left foot is flexed, heel reaching out. And maybe we take the shape up into the air, flexing the right foot. Sensations rise and fall, and through it all, the deathless center radiates the simple truth of union. Yoga. Letting the right foot fall back to the earth, releasing the left foot. We'll take both legs into the chest, giving them a tight, loving squeeze, maybe rocking from side to side, giving the lower back a little massage. Coming back to center, letting the left leg fall to the bottom of the mat, keeping the right knee into the chest, right foot comes over the bottom of the left thigh. We shift our hips just an inch to the right and let the right leg fall over to the left side. Supine twist. The right arm may reach out from the shoulder, palm facing up. Maybe the left hand comes over the right leg to help deepen the stretch. Always making sure that the right shoulder is rooted into the ground. Bit to the left, releasing the right leg down onto the mat, bringing the left knee into the chest. Left foot rests gently on the bottom of the right thigh. We scooch our hips another inch to the left, and we let that left leg fall over the right side of our body. Left shoulder remaining rooted down. Maybe the left arm comes straight out, palm up, and maybe we look over our left shoulder. Next inhale, releasing that left leg back to center, scooching the hips an inch to the right, letting the left leg fall down to the earth, and setting up for our savasana, our final pose, our most important pose. Letting the ankles fall out to the sides, taking up as much space as your limbs need here. Maybe shaking the legs from right to left. Letting the knees fall to either side of the mat, not forcefully so, but letting gravity do its work. Feeling the hips open, The middle back wide against the earth. Palms facing up. Shoulders away from the ears. Releasing any tension in the jaw. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Releasing the brows and any thought lines that have emerged on the forehead. And feeling fully supported here by Mother Earth below you. Knowing that you are receiving all of the benefits of your practice in this rest. Letting the breath slow to its natural rhythm. Taking this time to be rather than do. Knowing that we are human beings